This week, something changed. Not a rumor, not a recycled theory. A new disappearance, connected to the Amy Bradley case, surfaced quietly and then vanished just as fast. And when investigators compared timelines, they realized something terrifying. Amy Bradley was not the only passenger to disappear from that cruise. For decades, her case was treated as an isolated tragedy. A woman lost at sea. A heartbreaking accident. But what if that story was never true? What if Amy Bradley's disappearance was only the first visible crack in a much larger pattern? One hidden behind luxury, music, and ocean lights. Because when authorities finally reopened old files, they found something they couldn't explain away. Multiple passengers, multiple cruises, the same quiet hours, the same unanswered gaps. And now, just as the case was nearing answers, someone connected to Amy's story has disappeared this very week. That timing is not coincidence. So tonight, we ask the question no one wanted to ask for 27 years. What if Amy Bradley didn't disappear alone? Amy Bradley vanished in 1998. A cruise ship filled with passengers, security, cameras, crew everywhere. Yet she vanished without a single confirmed exit point. No body, no fall recorded. At the time, authorities needed an answer. So they chose the easiest one. She fell into the ocean. Case emotionally closed. But inside internal reports, something never sat right. When investigators later reviewed maritime disappearance records, a disturbing realization emerged. Amy was not the only passenger to vanish under unexplained circumstances. There were others. Different ships, different years, but eerily similar conditions. Late night hours. Cabin changes shortly before disappearance. Witness sightings dismissed as coincidence. Each case isolated. Each file closed quietly. Until someone finally asked the dangerous question. What if these weren't isolated at all? When FBI analysts cross-referenced passenger logs, a pattern began to form. Not obvious, not dramatic, but consistent. Disappearances clustered around specific conditions. Early morning hours, transitional ports, blind spots in surveillance, restricted access zones, places passengers weren't supposed to be, places crew could access freely. And then came the detail that changed everything. One overlooked log entry, marked routine, appeared in multiple cases. A passenger listed as moving but never arriving. No alarm, no follow-up, just silence. That silence may have allowed something to continue for years. Investigators began rebuilding timelines. Not just Amy's, all of them. And something terrifying surfaced. Passengers didn't vanish randomly. They vanished during moments of transition. Shift changes, docking procedures, late-night deck access, cargo movements, moments when attention drops, moments when people assume safety. Security footage revealed anomalies. Doors opening without clear figures. Cameras freezing for seconds, sometimes minutes. Corridors appearing empty, then not. At the time, these were logged as technical issues. Now, they looked like opportunities. Travel records showed last-minute cabin changes, minor itinerary edits, passengers briefly appearing in restricted zones. Each detail alone meant nothing. Together, they painted a picture investigators didn't want to see. This wasn't chaos. It was control. And then came the most chilling revelation. A woman claiming knowledge of Amy Bradley's fate came forward. She spoke quietly. Off record, she said she knew things no outsider should. Days later, she vanished. No public alert. No press conference. Just another silence. Investigators now faced a terrifying possibility. Someone was watching who got too close. And whoever it was had been watching for decades. Here is the most disturbing part. The truth may never have been hidden. It may have been ignored. Because every disappearance shared one fatal flaw. No single moment screamed danger. No single witness spoke loudly enough. No single detail felt urgent. Until it was too late. One crew member noticing a passenger in the wrong place. One log entry questioned. One anomaly taken seriously. Any of those could have stopped the chain. But none were. Amy Bradley's case wasn't just unresolved. It was unfinished. And now, decades later, the pattern refuses to stay buried. A new disappearance. Reopened files. Silent movements behind the scenes. This is no longer just about Amy. It's about how many people vanished while everyone assumed the ocean was to blame. So the final question isn't what happened to Amy Bradley. The real question is this: how many disappearances were allowed to happen? Because the first one was never truly investigated, and if the pattern is real, then someone out there knows the truth, and they're hoping you stop asking questions